Hey Ryan, this is Keaton Everett with ABC, going over your pitching video from camp. I'm going to go through and talk a little bit about your mechanics and your motion and talk a little bit about ways we can help ourselves get nice and consistent, utilize a little bit more of our lower body, and just sort of some things that we can kind of help and tweak to create some more forces, to create some velocity, to keep ourselves nice and healthy. And we'll go through and kind of break down your motion at a couple of the spots that we look at. So the first one we look at is your initial setup. All right, so your initial setup dictates so much about how you're going to finish that a lot of times people don't really look at it or focus on it, but it's something that they're easy changes and they help out tremendously. All right, so basically watching what you're doing through your first initial movement, you can see how you shift backwards. All right, basically our motion, repeat it. The whole goal of our delivery is to repeat it every time, have the same timing, same everything. So to make it easier to repeat, we have to eliminate all our excess movements. All right, we want to be as efficient as we can. So going backwards when our initial target is forwards isn't as efficient as we can be. All right, so we just want to make sure that we're setting up that way. All right, so all that is just to shift back with your hips. You shouldn't really have to change your feet or anything, or your posture. Just shift that initial load to that back side so you're not shifting backwards. All right, that's a real easy fix. Next thing too, eyes. Eyes are a big deal. They don't seem like it, but the more that you basically, here I'll go through, as you can see, once you lift, your eyes go down to the ground, you start coming forward, and then they pick them up. All right, so basically the eye, it doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but once that foot gets started, you got to have your eyes on that target. All right, it's huge. It's just about, it's just the more you kind of focus on something, the more you see it in your brain, you're going to get better direction there. You're going to just have better results. It's huge. And so just make sure those eyes are on that target. It's an easy fix, and it's really beneficial for you. All right, next thing. All right, so now we're at balance point. All right, you have a really good closed leg. Your hips are nice and closed. All right, so at this point now we want to see hips going forward first and our hands to break. All right, so as we start kicking forward, you can see you're getting some pretty good drive. All right, your hands are breaking and you're getting really good at getting some extension down the mound. All right, so you're doing excuse me, you're doing a pretty good job at getting your hips going and getting some extension. And so now what we look at foot strike, so once that front foot first hits the ground, which looks like it's about right there, all right, you can see you're starting your torque, your hips starting to turn before your shoulders. Your shoulders are still flat. All right, oops, I accidentally hit that button. And so everything's going pretty good through here. All right, your foot strike, your front side's doing pretty good, staying out. We could probably see it stay out a little bit farther over that front glove, but it's not too bad. But that initial little leak with this shoulder, what this is doing, as you get through, you can see it here, through your release point, is it causes this back leg to kind of break down. So as you throw, you can see this back leg going here and into your body, and you're throwing the ball standing straight up almost. All right, so we want to try to create more angle. We want to use this lower half. We want to use that body and those legs. And so try to stay through that back leg a little bit longer. You're just getting out a little bit on that front foot. You can see at your foot strike about right here how your toe, the top of your shoe is basically on the ground. So at this point, we still want to have ball of our back foot on the ground. We want to have the ball of that back foot. Our heel will be up. We might be turning a little bit, but we still need ball on that back foot because we can't drive off of this. Well, you can't drive off the top of your toes. And so all that foot's doing is just kind of going here and not using any power. All right, we'll go back and mark where you're releasing. All right, you're releasing right here. You're seeing daylight between there, so you're pushing the ball, but right there you're releasing the ball. Your head is basically behind your heel, and you don't have a whole lot of angle there. All right, the ball is coming out there. All right, if we're saying the target's down that way, maybe we got a ball path there. All right, so when we're staying to our back leg longer, we're going to create more of this angle, and you're going to see your head down over that front foot more. All right, so you're going to pick up this. You're going to have angle. You're going to have all this extra power, and then your release point is probably going to be, we'll draw it a little bit lower. You'll probably be, 6 to 8 inches farther out, and now you're going to be creating a little bit more angle on the ball. All right, so you're going to be able to drive farther through that back leg. You're going to use more of that core, use more of that body and those legs, and you're going to see that your body's going to be out ahead of this elbow a little bit more, so there's not going to be any daylight there, so you're not going to be pushing it. It's going to be in sync with your body, and you're going to be able to maximize that lower half. So again, just a matter of staying back through that backside. Just feel staying through that ball of your right foot as long as you can through that foot strike position, because you're doing everything else really good. All right, everything's there. Now it's just a matter of staying back a little bit longer to maximize that lower half to get everything rolling. So anyways, overall pretty good and real solid. Watch that setup, eyes on that target, and then just stay through that back leg a little bit longer so we can drive off it instead of just kind of have it drag into our body. So good job though. Good luck this year. Hopefully you have a great season. Thanks for making it out to camp, and we look forward to seeing you again with ABC.